What's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2013. We are playing as WWE in the year 2015. And we're going to be booking our second NXT show, and this is actually an NXT show. When I say that, I mean last week when I booked an NXT show, I forgot to call up a bunch of guys, and I honestly forgot to do quite a lot of things to where it was more of a WWE C show instead of an NXT show. Everybody on the card tonight is from NXT. There may be a few exceptions here or there. I'm not entirely sure. I don't believe there are, except for the pre-show. But other than that, no. This is a NXT show. I went ahead and upped everyone's popularity to what I feel it should be. Only in the Southeast where NXT is held. Everywhere else, it is still the same way it was before. And when/if they get called up to the main roster, I'm going to go back and change their current whatever their popularity is in the Southeast to whatever popularity they have in every other region. So if it increases from there, it's going. Let's say, for instance, Kevin Owens has, and I don't know if this is what he has. Let's say Kevin Owens has a 35 popularity in all regions in America except for Southeast, which I edited. By the time I want to call him up to the roster, let's say he now has a 45 popularity. I would bring him down to 45. I'm not going to bring him back down to 30 and let him work up. He's earned that popularity. Let's keep it that way. So I'm just going to undo what I did. So that's kind of my way of hoping to help NXT out. That way the ratings aren't that bad. We'll see how it goes from here. I haven't started any storylines yet, despite the fact how NXT is very story heavy. I am going to be telling some stories here tonight, though, on NXT, but I don't want to start the storylines until I see how they're rating, because I'm not going to start them if they're just going to be garbage storylines. We'll just tell it, and that'll be at that. So now that I got all that ranting over and done with, nerds and geeks, let us run the show. So on the pre-show, we have 3 pre-show bouts tonight. By the way, we are being held in the NXT arena in front of 400 people. Could have had way more. I think it said 2,000 something was being expected, but we're holding it in the NXT arena. We're keeping this NXT style. We're live on Hulu Plus because there's no WWE network, and before the network, NXT was on Hulu. Either way, pre-show first match is for the NXT Tag Team titles, and about that had non-existent crowd heat, but solid in reaction, which is good. I just learned that. Non-existent crowd heat means that they're not popular to the fans, but solid in reaction is a good thing. Blake and Murphy defeating Adam Rose and Heath Slater in 5 minutes and 50 seconds, when Blake defeated Rose with the submission after a turn by Blake. And this is because Blake, for some reason, is listed as a face. I don't think he's ever been a face, not to my knowledge. So let's go ahead and turn Blake to a heel. Dirt sheet wise, Blake definitely got some poor things there, as did Murphy. Honestly, everybody did. But what can you do? Moving on, we move on to a bout that gets a 56 C-, solid in reaction, but again, not much weight in heat. Tyler Breeze defeating Zack Ryder in 8 minutes and 24 seconds with the implant DDT. No worker improvements. But the dirt sheet's a lot kinder to Tyler Breeze and Zack Ryder than they were to the other. Oh, look at that. Zack Ryder has star quality on him. So does Tyler Breeze. We'll have to pay attention to that. Zack Ryder has a poor gimmick, though. Good rating, though, for that. I'm pretty satisfied with that rating. And then our main event of the pre-show gets another good rating, a 59C. So this is promising so far, nerds and geeks. But then again, this had Zack Ryder and Curtis Axel in there, too. So we'll see. Some good action, but not much weight in heat as again. Sami Zayn defeated Curtis Axel in 9 minutes and 41 seconds with the Brainbuster. The unfortunate thing is the announcing quality wasn't up to the same standard, but that's to be expected with our announcers not being that great right at the moment. Sami Zayn is improving in performance, and by the way, I have put Curtis Axel down on the NXT roster. I'm kind of going to do what WWE did with Tyson Kidd with Curtis Axel. I want to kind of start with him and maybe see where that goes from there. Oh my lord, hold on. Apologies for that, nerds and geeks. That was a strong cough coming in. I didn't want you guys hearing that or going through, me coughing in your ear. But either way, as I was saying, earlier in the year, some of you may remember earlier in NXT when Neville was the champion, Tyson Kidd had an amazing run down on NXT, and that kind of revitalized his career and ended up with him getting that tag team title run with Cesaro. Unfortunately, that injury that he suffered in a match with Samoa Joe is where he is now. But I'm hoping to do that same thing with Curtis Axel, because on Monday Night Raw, or was it SmackDown? I think it was Raw, to be honest. On Monday Night Raw, Axel's been really impressive to me, honestly, and everything. But I just think, in fact, I don't think I checked these guys, by the way. He's just been impressive. I think I might want to push him a little bit, see where I can go with that. So I believe that was the final pre-show match, so we move on to the start of the show. Yes! 75 B-. Super happy to see that. Kevin Owens comes out, and, he's irritated. He's angry. He's fuming about the fact how this show is being centered around Finn Balor when he's the NXT champion. He's NXT in the show. This is the Kevin Owens show. And he's fuming. He says, tonight, I guarantee you all will be talking about me and not Finn Balor. So simple as that. Kevin Owens just irritated that Finn Balor is pretty much getting all this attention for, not doing anything when he thinks he should be getting the attention. Pretty basic. Ooh, buddy, oh my, what a horrible match. An extremely short match. It was a 1-minute match, by the way. You can see 1 minute and 30 seconds. That's long for a Baron Corbin match. Corbin defeating Mysterio 2 in 1 minute and 30 seconds with the end of day. Mysterio debuted his second generation star gimmick and got an 85, so that's cool. But, what an ugly match. Ray is improving in performance, and Baron is improving in technical. What did this? So Baron got a negative crowd reaction. Does anybody Hey, look, it got a bonus for being done to a hot crowd. I think that's the first time I've seen that one. And Mysterio, high morale. Look at him, adding some good stuff in there. Anyone know how to do the negative crowd reaction, or is that just something you got to work through over time? My God, why am I coughing all of a sudden? For length, I gave it a minute. I can't. Oh, maybe that's why they're like, oh, it's too short of a match. I was about to say, how can you penalize me for length? Whatever, not the best match to start off the night with, that's for sure. Oh my God, hold on again, nerds and geeks. I got a cough. I don't know what is happening. Must have a tickle in my throat or something. Move on to a 49D+. Sasha Banks backstage hyping up the upcoming battle between Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Bayley, as the three women will battle later tonight in a triple threat match to determine the number one contender for Sasha Banks' NXT Women's Championship. The performance of Sasha was good, so that's awesome. And Banks has a poor gimmick, so let's add her to the list, and we will check her and see if we can help her out. Because Sasha Banks is great. We should definitely push her. Hey, I think I messed up on something, Nerds and Geeks, because I'm pretty sure there was supposed to be an angle between these. Okay. Well, either way, Sasha Banks getting Daniel Bryan-esque ratings, coming down to the ring just to do commentary, and the fans are like, yes. Thank you, Sasha. Okay, so I just didn't. This was what was supposed to be between the Sasha Banks interview and then the Sasha Banks just coming down to do commentary. Just a music video where the announcers, I imagine, going, and let's take another look at Finn Balor. And then we get a little preview of what Finn Balor can do, yada, 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 yada. Good old. Yes, this is awesome so far. I'm so happy to see NXT doing this good. So 53 C-, and about that had solid ring action, but not much weighing heat. Charlotte defeating Bayley and Becky Lynch in 9 minutes and 31 seconds when Charlotte defeated Becky Lynch with the figure 4. Or I guess it would be the figure 8. So Charlotte is now the number one contender and will get a rematch against Sasha Banks, possibly at our next, whatever show it's called. You know what I'm talking about. TakeOver, that's right. And Charlotte's the one making all the improvements here, both in technical and performance. Look at you, greedy. By the way, you guys see that annoying yellow circle. I'm going to have to try to find a way to take that off. I'm sorry. I never realized that was on there. Any gimmicks I can help with? Bailey, Becky holding back, everybody. Why did this lower the crowd's mood? I guess because Sasha Banks was on comment, or, did so well, coming down to the ring. Whatever. Brian Kendrick, once again, having a interview backstage where he's hyping his upcoming match against Finn Balor later tonight. I just remembered I forgot to push Brian Kendrick to the upper mid-card status. He's still a mid-carder. And unfortunately, he performed poorly. Why? Brian Kendrick's great. I don't know why this mod is saying he's not great, even after I edited him. Love Brian... Oh, because he likes marijuana or something? Get out of here. Alright, whatever. 66C plus is still good grade. I'm not expecting anything fantastic, so that's satisfying to me. And then we go on to our main event, which I definitely was hoping would do a little better than a 57C minus, but you know what? I ain't complaining. Still a good main event for NXT, I feel. Some good action and average heat, so both these guys are popular. Finn Balor defeating the Brian Kendrick in 13 minutes and 22 seconds with the Fujiwara armbar. Excuse me. And we also had Finn Balor turn on Brian. That was just a way to get Finn Balor. It went pretty well. That's fine. To be a face, because for some reason he's not a face. So Finn Balor's performance stood out as being good, so that's awesome. Quality wasn't up to there. Brian is improving in performance skill. And let's see what we got here. Jesus, Brian, golly. I don't even know what golly means, but you just made me say a new word, dude. So, awesome. I'm satisfied, and we go down to our last segment of the show. Oh my God. What is this? This is NXT. I'm booking NXT, Nerds and Geeks. This is awesome. I should have made these storylines. These would have been great. 79B. Finn Balor celebrating his victory, and then Kevin Owens shows that it's the Kevin Owens show and does his classic Kevin Owens beatdown where he just beats him down, powerbombing in a thing, fuming. Now everyone's going to be talking about Kevin Owens. Thank you and good night. This is great. This is what I needed after those horrible Raw and SmackDowns. 65C, I know we can't increase popularity or decrease popularity on these shows, but that is good. That is a good step for NXT and for me. I think I might have something here, Nerds and Geeks, with NXT. I think. I'm super happy right now. You have no idea. You have no idea. Okay, let's stop. Let's stop. I'm going a little overboard right now. I'm just a little excited, but geez. Let's stop sounding stupid. That was awesome, though. I am really happy with that NXT, especially that main event. So I think we're going to go ahead and create a storyline between Sasha and Charlotte and Owens and Finn Balor, because hint, hint, nudge, nudge, Finn's going to be the one taking on Kevin Owens next. That does not necessarily mean he'll lose it. That doesn't mean he will retain it either, but I just want you guys to know that I'm not copying WWE. It's not just going to be, Finn Balor's going to be champion because of that. If he's going to be champion, it's because I feel it is right for the story. Unfortunately, Rockstar Spud is not the first or X Division champion no more. They gave it to Manic. Why? I don't know. Manic's not that entertaining. He's quite boring. He wears Nikes to the ring. I'm sorry. No, don't wear Nikes to the ring, dude. Oh no, Ezekiel Jackson's injured. Global Force, just, Boogeyman's retiring. Poor guy. What? Tony, not my NXT. My NXT don't need no Tony Julius. Doing great by itself. By the way, Maria Hera and Pamela Foxtrot may not sound like familiar names to you. They may not be my best work either. I don't know if they're going to continue to be called that. I might change it up later on, unless I call them up to the main roster. Then they're staying. I'm not changing it unless it's storyline purpose. Maria Hera is better known as Mandy Leone to some of you. She worked in ROH. Actually, she still works in ROH. She don't work in ROH no more. She worked for me now. I think she has a very good look, and I think, honestly, she can be the next Trish Stratus if WWE did hire her and book her right. She is gorgeous. She calls herself the exotic goddess. She has a passion for the industry, I feel, and I definitely think that she will do very well. Also, I think she makes a better heel, so let's do that. and we're going to send her down to developmental to work on her skills. Maria Hera, the reason I called her that, I think her name is Maria, or I don't remember exactly why I went with that, Maria, but Hera is because it is, I believe, I think it is I don't know my Greek mythology that well. Um, I believe she is the wife of Zeus. I could be wrong on that. The only reason I called her Hera, believe it or not, I typed in Google who is the most beautiful exotic goddess, because that's what her gimmick was. I am the exotic goddess, you know. So that's what I was going with there. And Pamela Foxtrot, better known as Taylor Hendricks. I chose Pamela because if you follow Taylor Hendricks a little bit in her career, at least this is my interpretation. She has a lot of Poison Ivy-esque things. She wears like a green kind of thing that looks all leafy to the ring. She's got that red hair, so she's kind of got like that poison. At least to me, it's like a Poison Ivy feel. And Poison Ivy's real name is Pamela, and I didn't want to just go with Pamela Isley, completely copy it or something like that. So I wanted to go with more of like a poisonous flower, because I kind of like Taylor's whole gimmick to be like, not that she spits poison or anything, but she's like, I guess a demanding diva would be a way, but kind of like what she is now. She's very don't like I'm like royalty almost. Like if you see her in ROH at all with Truth Martini, that's kind of what I feel. Or like she's kind of like I'd like a queen. Like I'd fucking smack you or something like that. So I kind of wanted to find like a kind of a poisonous kind of name to kind of go with like the Poison Ivy feel. And a foxtrot is one of the most poisonous plants out there, and it kind of sounded like royalty to me. So that's what I went with that one. Like I said, these names might not stick, but that's what I came up with so far. Both of them are heading down to NXT. They're just finally here. And next Raw, we have to make sure we push Sheamus, not Bush. What the fuck? Taylor has now left Shine, so did Mandy Leon, leaving ROH. Alright, so everybody else here is just, I believe... Oh, Monday Night Raw, how do we do? Excuse me. Down. NXT went up, though. That's awesome. We keep going up. We're going to keep... That's freaking great. I'm so happy with that NXT. Delete them all. And who do we got? So Garrett Bischoff, which some of you may going, why the hell are you signing Garrett Bischoff? We are signing him to NXT Developmental. The main reason I was signing Garrett Bischoff is because with WWE, they usually like to sign, second generation, third generation stars, stuff like that. And I'm going to give him a chance. It doesn't mean he's going to, make it to the main event scene or even to the main roster. I'm going to see how it works out with him. We'll see where it goes. And then Io Shirai, I don't know personally. I just know the game says that she's really good, and I think she'd be fun. I don't have Kana or Asuka coming in at the moment, so I thought she would be a nice replacement for that. So before we end this episode off, let's go ahead and add in these storylines. I'm going to put the NXT in the front. That way we can all tell. So Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor. Only we would have done it. So Kevin Owens and Finn Balor, and then Sasha Banks versus Charlotte. I believe that's how you spell her name. Yeah, I messed up. Charlotte. Okay, there we go. So that's going to do it for this episode of Nerds and Geeks. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor. Leave me a comment, like, and please subscribe if you have not already. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, like me on Twitter. I'm trying to make it an added effort to post more on there. So, help me out. I don't know. Either way, my name's been OMG WTF LOL FTW BRB, and I'll see you guys next time. So until then, have a wonderful day.